Hey, next step in Micro 90 training is installing the pad. So this is a number 112 pad. And put it onto the pad coupler using wood screws. There's 2 wood screws in there. This pad coupler has already been trimmed to the height of this pad and or pads similar in length. So the way that you're going to install this is you need to open up your safety guarding so you can access the pad XY block, which is this little guy right here. I'll show you what that looks like. I'll take it out. You don't need to take it out, but I'll show you what these screws do. So 3 screws on here. This is the locking screw down here. When I insert the pad into the base like this, then I turn this screw to lock it in place in the holder. So these are all metal screws going into aluminum. You don't need to over tighten them, just need to get them firm. Then you have a right-left locking screw and an in-out locking screw. So because this one is loose, I can put this back on the dovetail. I slide this to where I think about the middle is. We lock this down, and I'm in the middle right there now, I think. Next thing to do in testing and loading in the pad and getting in position is close your doors. The machine, because the doors are open, needs to go through its homing sequence, so it's loading data. Indicates when I can push the middle to home it. It's in home position now. So in order to locate my pad position, I'm going to put it into stepping motion, which is this button over here. It looks like the dotted line. I'm going to use the cliche out button here to bring the cliche out or the pad over the image. And then I'm going to use the pad up down button, holding it or tapping it so I get down close but not onto or touching the plate. Once I'm in that location, I have to stop, open the doors, and now I need to fine tune this pad location relative to the image. So I'm not centered right now, I'm to the right. I can see in looking at it here. My image is too far over this way. So I'm going to move, loosen this, and I'm going to step my pad over until I think it's centered. Right here, I want to get as close to the center of the image as possible without being right in the middle of a letter or a graphic if possible. Sometimes it's not possible to avoid that, but if you can, you want to, so you don't trap air when you pick up. Now I want to look in the other axis, in and out, and my pad looks like it's pretty good forward and backward. I shouldn't have to make any adjustment that way. If I had to, if I wanted to move my pad forward or backward, I would use this screw, loosening it, and then moving the bottom of the block in or out accordingly. So now I have the XY position squared up with what I believe to be the middle of my image. And the next thing I need to do is set the pad compression. So I need to close the safety doors. Again, they were open, so the machine has to home again. It's going to go to home position. And now I can go back into that stepping motion again, back where I was, holding it until it stops. And now I use this button, and I'm bringing the pad down, stepping until I have what I believe is the amount of compression I need to pick that image up. So you want the pad to compress out radially, or depending on what kind of pad you are, until you can visually see that you have enough compression that you have picked up the entire image. Once you have that dimension, you hit enter. You can see what number you just set here by pushing this button, which is showing you what your dimensions are for the pad. I just set a pickup stroke of 32 millimeters. You have about 40 millimeters, 35 or 40 millimeters maximum pickup on this machine. So I've set that. I'm going to back my pad up now using the pad up down button, like I just did, backing it up. Now I put the cliche back in. And finally, I'm going to go down and step the pad down to the object I want to print, which in this case is a golf ball. So I'm going to use this button holding it. And if you see I'm coming down, when I get close, I'll just start tapping it until I think I have compression. Right now it looks like I'm just touching the surface of the ball. And if I need to, what I can also do is, in this position, I could make an adjustment to where the ball is, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter and go ahead and set my pad compression and I'm all done. So that's how I went through using the stepping motion to set my pad compression on the cliche and on the part. Thanks.